Welcome back to the Craft of Living here, and I welcome you. If you are new here, welcome. This is where we share how we craft our life. And for those of you that have been here for a while, welcome back. And thank you for joining me on this exciting little segue. So I created this channel, The Craft of Living, so that I could share and practice expressing my truth and my voice in all the ways that I craft my life. So that means in how I create my life. And I talk a little bit about it in my introductory video, but yeah, this is how I'm choosing to craft my life. So today, I wanted to let you in on what else I'm up to in crafting my life. So, crochet and tarot? What? That's what we're talking about today. It's a segue because I use divination tools and tarot cards to further spiritual development within myself and within others, to be of service in that way. And I do crochet and I do crafts and I make things. This can be a long video, guys, so buckle up. We're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna talk about this split that's going on here, and this, I would say, this branching out. So for those of you that are followers of the divination and the tarot and the unboxing, just so you know, that's still going to continue because that's still one of my passions, and that's still one of the ways in which I like to create and craft life, is with that injection of spirituality. So that will always happen. For as long as it sparks my joy, I will be doing tarot unboxings. I will be doing future pick a cards. I will be doing solar eclipses, things like that. Now, I may not get every single one. If you want me to do a reading for any particular thing, leave a comment, you know, in the box down below, and I would definitely love to do that. But yeah, there's more content for sure coming up with tarot as well. But if you see a titled video saying crochet, then you know it's going to be about crochet and all of that. So you can feel free to click on whichever video sparks joy in you, because we're going to get into it today now. And I'm going to put the tarot cards aside until I figure out how to actually incorporate tarot with crochet. Like, what can I learn from this crochet project today? What can I learn from this crochet project? Let's see. I just want to see real quick. What can I learn from this crochet endeavor? 10 of Pentacles, which is for me, because the one option is like I'm going to experience great financial loss, which I don't think Spirit is trying to tell me that at all. It helps to build my inner resources. It helps fulfill me in physical ways that I can't get doing anything else necessarily. It provides inner riches. I have my little dog here on the side. Don't mind him. He's getting all comfy. His name is Bear. But I love this. This is actually one of the first cards I got when I asked, what am I going to get out of reading tarot and being a tarot reader. I actually got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse then as well. And I can tell you that it did not equate to financial ruin. So, inner resources, that's how I take this, and also healing ancestral wounds. So as we talk about healing ancestral wounds, where did I learn crochet from? From my grandma. I started crocheting when I was really young, and I remember making my chain 1 crochet chain, and my grandma said it was too tight because I'm like nervous and I want to do it right and I want to be a good, perfect student, and you know, and so over many years, this has evolved and it's turned into something totally different. So I want to take you with me on my crochet journey. So I have unbottled uncorked something within me that has always been there, and only recently has it really taken on a life of its own. So I wanted to share with you in my journey and my challenge. I have decided to do a market in about 6 months, including this month being the first month. So we are in the month of May right now. So we have May, June, July, August, September, October. October is when I plan to have my craft fair, a local craft fair, where I will make as much as I can within 6 months, see what I have, and then do the craft fair in October. So my plan is to have one new pattern that I tackle every month, just to build up my stock and my foundation. So I want to take you with me on that journey. I don't know if I'm going to do time-lapsed creations or what. You let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see. But let me just take you a little bit in my crochet journey. For those of you crafters that are interested, I just like to share. So I started off doing, little crafts here and there. Actually, before I even get into these guys, I started off doing, the typical normal stuff, like practical things like pot holders and scarves and hats. And there's nothing wrong with that, except I remember I wanted to try something different than my grandma. My grandma was super talented in crocheting, but I wanted to get away from that stereotype of granny crochet. I wanted to do anything I could to be opposite of having it look like granny crochet, which I'm sure tons of people like, but for me, it didn't really hit it for me. So I started making, first I started making like capelets, little half capelets that come down with a big cowl type of hood that is really deep. I started making clothing because it seemed practical, little shawls. I'd make these little bikini thingies. And I just found clothing to be a nuisance. I never got them to fit right on me. It always sagged in weird places. I think I tried creating a shirt one time out of acrylic yarn. Very hot here in the tropics, first of all. Itchy when you're dealing with acrylics, even though I only use Simply Karen. I only use Simply Karen just because it's the yarn is just a bit softer and shinier and brighter. But yeah, the clothing line wasn't really working for me. It wasn't really inspiring. I think I made a couple of beautiful pieces that I really love, like some rainbow vests, a mandala rainbow vest. Came out beautiful. I just didn't enjoy the process as much as I would have hoped. So maybe in another video I can show you some of those, but I thought this video will just keep it amigurumi. So that is what I kind of went into. I went into an amigurumi type of crochet. For those of you who are not familiar with that word, it is a Japanese word. And it means stuffed toy. Gurumi means stuffed toy. So if you were to say kuma no nuigurumi, kuma no nuigurumi is Japanese for teddy bear. Kuma being the teddy part of it. But yes, amigurumi has been an amazing ride, and particularly amigurumi that is kawaii. Oh my gosh. Again, if you are not familiar with Japanese culture, kawaii just means super cute, super bright, super cheerful. I also really like chibi, which is another Japanese culture reference. Chibi just means very baby-like, very baby innocent appeal, that cute big eyes, huge forehead. That's super chibi. So I really love kawaii and chibi things. So I started focusing more on that. So I made these two little popsicles. You may have seen these on my channel. Sometimes I showcase them while I'm doing unboxings. But yes, I made these guys. And this is just using regular acrylic yarn, the Simply Karen I talked about, and simple crochet stitches. And I have my dog that loves to make himself comfortable on all my creations all the time. But you see these little kawaii rainbows, super kawaii, super chibi. And, you know, I would make these and people would be like, oh, they're so cute, you should sell them. You know, but man, I mean, I don't know. I really like to make them, but usually I'll make them just once just to prove myself that I can make them. But with amigurumi, you know, it's very involved. And with this acrylic yarn, everything takes a little bit more time because the yarn is smaller. So you know, you have to make first this one side of the rainbow. You have to change colors every single time, and you have to hide in your ends every single time. And then you sew the two sides together. Then you crochet these little hearts. Then you sew them on. Then you crochet these tiny little cheeks. Then you sew them on. And you know, like, for anybody else, this may not be a big deal because they absolutely enjoy the whole process. But for me, it's just, I don't know. It wasn't doing it for me. So yeah, I have these little guys here and did everything in kind of pairs. We have the boy bill and the girl bill. These are all somebody else's patterns, by the way. I haven't delved into creating my own patterns just yet, except I did create my own pattern for something I'll show you, and I don't have it written out yet. But these are my little pineapples that I made. But see, like, my husband tells me, you could make all of these. I'm like, no, I did not like making every single one of these things and then sewing them all on. It wasn't fun. The bobble stitch, sure, okay, yes, the bottom, but anyway, cute little pineapples. What else do I have? I have Mr. Murasaki. Someone was like, oh, can I buy him from you? And, you know, like I said before, you make these tiny, teeny tiny little ears. You sew them on after you make them. You know, you make these teeny tiny little wings and fold them in half, 2 of them, and put them on. And same thing for the eyes. And, you know, it's like this tiny little project could take me, you know, 3 days. You know, and I know for other people that don't have other obligations, they're not, you know, they don't have as many things distracting their attention, they could easily bang it out and they could be done. But for me, this kind of work was really wearing on my hands because I wanted to get it really tight so that you don't, you know, you don't have any stuffing poking through these holes here. And it took me a long time, and I just couldn't quantify how long it took me to make this and how much I would have to charge for it. It didn't equate. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to just sell this for $10 and, okay, $10. I mean, yeah, sure, $10, but it didn't equate the amount of time and effort I put into it. And so no, it wasn't gonna work. So I would make Mr. Murasaki and I would keep him for myself because I'm not making him again. Usually I find that when I get like that in a project, I won't. I'll make it once to prove to myself that I can do it, and then I won't ever make it again. So yeah, this is my next little guy, super cute. I don't know if I have all of the patterns to these guys. Let me know if that's something that you want. I can definitely dig them up if you are in search. But I just loved her cute little gingerbread pattern, and I just utilized that. And the little frosting hat is so cute. But yeah, things like this I just end up keeping for myself because it's just so much work that I don't want to give it away. And then it started to evolve into bigger dolls. Here, now I'll show you. Sorry, sweetie, I need this baby. Yeah. I call all my creations my babies. So, because you know, you take a piece of string and you give it purpose, and it has life now, and it has eyes and a name, and somebody loves it. I don't know, it's just cool. Anyway, I created these. I didn't create them. I made them off of somebody else's pattern. But I call her Cocoa Bear. And I call her Nilla Bear. Nilla Bear and Cocoa Bear. I'm just an adult child, don't mind me. They like the music. What? Okay, sorry. Anyway, I made this one first for my grandma, and when she passed, she made her way back to me. Family sent her back. I can see all the mistakes I made in her, even as I'm squishing her now. Her head does not have enough stuffing. I tend to overstuff my things now just because it flattens out. But I can tell she's extra squishy. That means she's gonna have a flat head in a few years. But I would just like to say that my son, who is 6 right now, gave Cocoa Bear the run of the mill. He played with her like she was one of his battalion guys, just like boom, like crazy, yanking her here, there, feet, whatever, bombs going off, as you can imagine. And you know, she withstood. Now, this particular toy can be thrown on a gentle cycle in the wash, but you know, she's got little underwear, so don't worry. She's got underwear. You know, some of the things are a little bit, you know, easily fixed. Like I can easily fix this bow that's falling off here. But nothing else is going wrong. Like everything looks really good. She's really stood up to the test of time. And with this particular one, I had fun because I put sand in her bum. So I would say about this much of her is plastic pellets. And I put them in her feet too. You can hear it. And a little in her hands. My dollies, I like to be flopsy. I like them to be carried around kind of like this, and I like their little legs. And when they like to sit, I want them to sit. So she does just that. She sits. And her little Nilla friend over here, this one she's just sat on the shelf, so she looks way less beaten up, way less dirty. Yeah, Nilla Bear and Cocoa Bear. They were cute patterns. I don't know that I would ever make them again. Most of the stuff I'm showing you right now, I don't know that I'll ever, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna make any more. Like if I got a whole bunch of people that were like, can you make me these? I'd be like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not interested right now. Because these are done in all acrylic, like we talked about before. And they're really hard on my hands after a while. So thank you guys. Put you off to the side there. Another project that I tried was a monkey. He came out really cute, actually. He came out super cute. I put sand in his little bum. It's not sand, it's plastic pellets, those little pellet things. So that he can just sit down regular. And I added some very, very, very strong magnets in his hands. Yay! Yay! So, and I also added it in his tail. So, so he could just, you know, he could really just hang out if he wanted. Well, hang out. Hang out. You know, I'll hang him on things and hang him around and play hide and seek with my son. Where's the baby now? But he came out super fun. Yeah, his feet are just stuffing. They're not actually beads. But will I ever make him again? No. He came out cute enough for the first time, and I think that's it. Moving on, I discovered this pattern for these mermaids. And so I made a mermaid fashioned after my best friend. Look how gorgeous she is. My best friend is gorgeous, by the way. She's my sister. I call her my sister from another mister because we've been through childhood together and, you know, one of those friends, right? She's one of those. And this is her, so I get to have her all the time whenever I'm lonely. So this is another pattern I found actually off of Pinterest. And the designer, I kept everything pretty much close to the designer and how she had the pattern. This is my first prototype, so you can see there's some trial and errors here. But I fashioned her with a wire that runs from her head down to her tail. So it makes it able so that she could sit, you know, she wanted to sit. But mostly I had to give her that structure so her head just wouldn't flat back, you know, it wouldn't just flap back. Because the whole reason why I was drawn to this pattern, so the original pattern, her hair is 50% less. And you have to make it 50% less if you don't want the head to crack off and roll off the back. But I actually found myself getting lost in playing with her hair and braiding it. And I found it a bit soothing and therapeutic, even just, you know, running my fingers through her hair like this just now. I found it really fun, and I decided that I wanted to make something that adults could connect back with their inner child. And this is one of them. So I love playing with her. She can have like different hairstyles. You can do different things with her. You can put her, you know, like in a side thing. You can make braids coming down. My other sister, who I also made one for, she did a beautiful job on braiding her whole head. It just turned out beautiful. I wish I could show you. But anyway, these are my mermaids. So this kind of expanded off into like my fantasy line where they have different color hairs. And, you know, it's just been super fun. It's been fun playing with these babies and watching how they really bring joy to people's lives, you know, and it just sparks joy. They just, really? I can play with their hair? I feel so silly. So I like to say that I make toys for grown people. I make toys for grown people, little plush fun toys that spark joy, that allow them to nurture their inner child. Because I think it's so important, especially as life gets more intense, more serious, as we experience the world coming to different heads all over the place. You know, this just adds a little bit of cheer. And yeah, I just love that. I love contributing in that way. So many adults think, oh, I can only buy stuffed animals for my niece, my nephew, my kid, my, you know, whatever, someone that is a small child. But I give you permission to get stuffed animals for yourself. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people that say, grow up. But why? Why, when there's so much joy to be had when that inner child of yours is in balance? So I actually still am selling these. I haven't decided if I will stop making these yet, because they're the acrylic yarn, and like I said, they're just a bit harder on my hands. But I'll just show you up close how she is. Just extra simple, you know? And she can come with pretty much any hair. So yeah, I just wanted to show you these girls. And the bases that I have for those girls, like I said, I do want to continue selling these. I don't know if I'm gonna make any more, but right now I have these bases that I haven't done anything with. These are what I call, all of them, you know, including this one. These are my Haunani girls. There's a whole history and meaning around Haunani. In fact, it's I borrowed it from my sister, from another mister. They're named after her. And yeah, they just are my little bases. I don't have tops on them yet, or hair color choices, but those are easy to add in. But these guys are all complete except for that. So these are like my base babies. I probably have 3, maybe 4 left to sell. And the thing is that these guys are pretty pricey because they took me a long time, and you know, the amount of wear. So I really don't want to let one of these girls go for under 100. And that's like a lot for a lot of people, especially if you're in a different part of the world where yarn is ridiculously cheap, where you have the dollar stores. Oh my God. You mainland people with your dollar stores where you can just go to the Dollar Tree and get dollar yarn. What kind of luxury is that? I don't have that. Yeah, so I have to charge differently because resources are very limited over here. We don't have a Michael's, we don't have a Pamela's or a Hobby Lobby or an anything. We have one official craft store called Ben Franklin, and they have such a very small limited selection for double, triple the amount of price that it should be. So I never shop there if I can help it, ever. I'll go to Walmart. Walmart's always out of the colors I need also, and they stopped carrying Simply Karen, or at least they sized down since 2019, so I've been extra challenged there. And anyway, supplies are really hard for me to get. I end up having to order them on Amazon, and Amazon doesn't even always have them, which means I have to special order it through eBay or Etsy. So now we're talking extra pricey for yarn that everybody else is getting for $1. So yeah, I kind of got to charge a lot for these, not based on material alone, but time and money and body and effort, right? So the dolls were really cool. And then when 2019 hit, I had some time on my hands. What was going to be my new project? I don't know. I wanted something different. So I found a designer online from Russia. Oh my gosh, some of these women and creators from Russia are so talented. So talented. I wish I could learn half of what they know. They are amazing. But I found this pattern for a jointed bear. You know, the old-fashioned teddy bears? The ones that can turn their heads and their arms. Well, I wanted to try to make that from crochet. So I could only find one pattern online that had the jointed look. So here's the result. This is back in 2019. So here's the little guy. He was so fun to make and also very frustrating. I had a lot of curveballs, but again, as my style, I filled his butt with sand or plastic pellets pretty much. And so I had a hard time accepting the pattern at first because it looked like funny little weird ham hocks just like attached to the side. And I thought that was just goofy looking. Like, what is that? Is a thigh bone sticking out? Is it a chicken leg? Like, I don't know. It just seemed so funny. Is it a little chicken nugget on the side? I don't know. Anyway, I was hung up on how weird the thigh looked and in the pattern, but I was like, actually, it's kind of growing on me, and he just looks like a Pooh Bear to me, a Winnie the Pooh, you know? So anyway, this is the result of that. So he was pretty hard. as you can tell. He took a thinner yarn. This yarn I had to special order from Russia. It was such a specific size and gauge that I wanted to set myself up with success and getting the picture that I saw. And I did. I was able to do that. But yeah, it's such an interesting process making the articulation, making the joints. I had to have cotter pins, and I had to order teddy bear making supplies from New York. So I bought the yarn from Russia. This was before when we could buy internationally like that in 2019. And then I bought the cotter pins and joints and T-pins from a teddy bear making shop off of Etsy based in New York. So needless to say, it was not cost effective to sell these. So I do have an Etsy shop up right now. It has 2 items in there. I'm using it more as placeholders, so those 2 items are pretty darn expensive while I get the rest of my thing going here. But I do have a shop on Etsy. If you look up Cinnamonies, you should be able to see. I will have listed my bear and my mermaid for a really high price. And like I said, it's mostly just so it can be a placeholder for my other things. But yeah, I wanted to share this guy. He was super fun and hard to do. And then off of that guy, I saw this other version she made, and I had to do it. But again, I don't think I will be doing it ever again. So this guy came out so cute. He is just adorable. I definitely overstuffed him, but I want him to last a long time. So he's pretty hard to squeeze, guys. I can't really squeeze him much. But he came out so freaking cute. I call him Roski because that sounded good. He is pretty soft and he is very heavy because I put the pellets in his bum. But he's probably my piece de resistance because I'm so proud of him and the work that I did with him. So very, very, very proud. It took a lot. So anyway, I don't think I'll be making any more of him. This is mine. I made one and I will not sell him just to have proof that I once did this. I know all you crafters know how that is. He can just hang out there while I do the rest of my video. But yes, so this evolution has been long and, you know, very hard because I could get done with one of these bears. And I found that the crocheting part actually wasn't as hard as the stuffing and the molding. So, you know, stuffing his forehead here, so he has a large forehead, and stuffing his cheeks here and his muzzle, so it's kind of a packed muzzle. And I really had to, you know, and there's just a lot of molding, more than you think when you're stuffing these things. So that actually tires out my hands more than anything, is that molding. And also there's a lot of, so the indentation with the eyes, you have to pull really hard and pull all of your material in and secure the knot in a place that's in the neck joint over here. And, you know, just a lot of this stuff, like my flexors are so exhausted. But yeah, so then what sparked this whole thing, thank you guys for hanging out so much, was this fluffy yarn. So I was inspired by one of the patterns I saw online by a woman named, a company named Critter Stitch, and it's on Etsy. And it's Critter Stitch is the designer. She makes beautiful crochet dolls, one of which I was attracted to, which had a mushroom on the head. And it was like a little mushroom person with a mushroom cap. And he looks so cute to me that I wanted to make a version of my own. I wanted to make it extra kawaii because hers looked very beautiful and artsy and designer. And I wanted to take that and make it kawaii. So I developed my own pattern off of you know, I just you know, augmented it to fit what I was trying to go for. So here's my first little guy. So he's a little mushroom man. And he's made from this plush yarn. So I opened up Pandora's box when I found this plush yarn. Tell me how many other crocheters out there feel this way. Something that could take me, you know, 2 to 3 weeks to accomplish. You know, I'm not talking about full-time crochet. I'm talking about life and chores and everything, and then crocheting on top of that. It might take me like a whole month to really get a good bear done. To find the time and on each little piece, it takes me, you know, a while. But with this guy, not nearly as long. And he turned out so cute. I made a lot of changes to her pattern so that I had some space between the legs here. This is even my first prototype. There's been a lot of changes in him since then. I made his belly a little bit bigger, so he's more chunky, and his head a little bit bigger also. But, you know, the hat pattern, just make those embroideries. And I call these my tree sprites. Tree sprites, kind of like a Miyazaki tree sprite, if you're familiar. So here's a little brown one. I didn't finish his collar yet. But these are my guys. The hats are attached. But I have him in brown here. There's a little more of a belly there. These are my tree sprites. I also call them kinoko babies, which is Japanese for mushroom babies. But I just make a base like this, and then we go from there. But see how his belly, I made his belly a bit fatter. I gave him a little bit of a bum, and I made his head a little bit bigger. But yeah, so I have these bases. I'm working on these now. I'm gonna build a stock of these. I'm going to do plushies every month now. So the first month that we started here on May, my first pattern was a chicken snuggler. So the chicken snuggler, I had to special order the yarn because I can't find it anywhere. It's all over on Michael's. You can buy however many you want, but they don't ship over here, so it doesn't matter. So I actually had to go off of an individual seller on Etsy to find this yarn, and I could only buy one skein because it was 20 bucks, $22 for one fluffy skein. That's not a great deal. But I really was set on trying to make it. So I kind of want to show you the patterns that I had in mind first before we get into them. So this one is by The Cozy Stitch, and it's Cooper the Chicken Snuggler. So this was the first one. Okay, and I'll show you how he turned out. So my prototype looks like this. Eee! His legs look funny. I attached them incorrectly, but they still work. But here's my polished version of the guy. So his legs are attached a little bit better now, and yeah, he looks kind of like the picture. So this is my Charlie the chicken. I gotta rename them, you know. They gotta have. They're my babies now, so I have to rename them. So, Charlie the chicken. But I don't have him in this color anymore until I start selling some. So for now, this color and this one is mine. And this is the color that I found kind of as a replacement. It's totally not as cute, but there is definitely chickens that have this coloring, and I must say when my husband suggested this color, I was like, no, that one's not any good. But he had to show me, he's like, no, look at these chickens that look exactly like this. And I was like, oh, I guess there are black and white chickens that look kind of exactly like this guy. Did not know, but once he showed it to me, I was like, oh, okay. But I always find it funny how no matter what you're making, you can follow the pattern exactly and it comes out different just a little bit every time. And it's the thickness of the yarn or whatever. But his beak came out a little bigger than I thought, but it works for him. So yeah, this guy I will definitely have for sale because this is a sustainable yarn I have access to. He turned out really cute though. I wasn't sure at first, but he came out cute. And then I have, of course, my own patterns, which is very simple. Hey Rusky, are you all right? Is this little octopi pattern. Over here we call them tacos, not these kind of tacos. Taco in over here we call them tacos, but octopus pretty much. So I have him in blue. This one sells pretty well. His tendrils are nice and long, and he can really hold on to things very well. You can have him like loop around something and he'll just stay on your finger or whatever you're looping him onto. It's kind of funny. His tentacles have a life of their own. So I made that guy in blue. And then I also liked him in this color. Just simple, super simple guy, but snuggly, fun, and lovable. So that clears out what I have been working on this past few months and what I've been really trying to let grow. So let me share with you what I plan on focusing on over the next 6 months, and maybe I'll take you with me on my journey and show you how each one turned out. So I think the next one that I'm ready to do is an axolotl pattern, which is something that's very popular nowadays. If you're not familiar with an axolotl, it's like a lizard that loves water. It comes from Minecraft. If you're a gamer, that's kind of one of the things that made it popular. But this pattern is by Katie Kitty Craft on Etsy, and it was the cutest axolotl that I had seen, so I wanted to try that one. It looks very simple, and I wanted to give her a try. So I bought all the pink colors because the pink was just so cute and it just sparked joy. So I'm excited to try that one. I don't know on what month that's going to be on, but that is one of them. I will show you some of the other snugglers that I, excuse me, that I got from the Cozy Stitch. The same one that made the chicken snuggler. I want to make her duck pattern. Super cute, super easy. I want to make her duck pattern. That's on the list. These guys I am not so sure I will do, but they are there as an option. The reason why I'm hesitant is because those colors might be expensive and hard to find. I know I don't have to use the same exact colors, but I really like to go for the look of the thing when I'm making my first one. So we'll see on those ones. I gotta see if I can manifest those bright colors. See, that's 1, 2, 3. I've shown you 3, actually 4. Yeah. So the other one I saw was a little bee snuggler, which I really love bees, and bees are such a thing right now. But I thought this little snuggler was cute. Yeah. This is by let's see, Sia and Pen. These are all off of Etsy, by the way. Let me know if you want these patterns, and then I can link them below. If not, I am going to move on. And then lastly, I have Luna the kitty. which I thought was a really cute pattern. She has dangly legs, and actually what I wanted to try with this one is after I successfully make the cat, I want to see if I can turn it into a dog pattern, create some long ears, do some extra detailing on that to see if I could do a cat and a dog. I thought that would be really cute. But this pattern is by Little Muggles. Little Muggles. And this one was just like a lofty dream one, and I purchased it because someone wrote 60 pages of a crochet pattern. 60 pages of a crochet pattern to teach you how to make Totoro. Oh my god. So I'm a little bit nervous on this one because they talk about it specifically. They want your stitches to line up exactly. They don't want it to curve this way or this way. They want it to go straight up and down. And they talk about in this pattern why you have drifting seams. They call it drifting seams in crochet, and what you can do to add increases or decreases so that your stitches land on top of one another. And oh my god, I don't know if I can do that one. But then I always think of this guy, and hers was really, she actually had one of the same things, especially on the muzzle. She said that if you have stitching that tends to drift, the muzzle will turn upwards. So I was really nervous on that. I didn't know what she meant. I just ignored it and did my thing, and it turned out okay. So maybe the same thing will happen for Totoro. But he looks super cute. If anything, he would be one that I would just make once, and then he would draw people into my booth, perhaps. There's a big Asian influence out here, so there's a good chance that a lot of people would know Totoro and the Miyazaki films and terms like kawaii and all of that. So that is it, what I have pretty much. Since the craft thingy will be in October, give me some ideas on what you might like to see made with this plushy yarn for October. So right now I have a ghost. He looks pretty fun to make and easy. I made a bat with the acrylic yarn. I did not like it, and I did not want to make another one. Again, another one of those things. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any crochet challenges that you are trying. Let me know if you've discovered this great thick and fat yarn. What are some tips and tricks that you have found with it? What are your hardest challenges working with the small, finer acrylic kind of toys versus, you know, the bigger ones? What are some of your pros and cons of doing these two types of things? Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. And I just wanted to say thanks for hanging out with me in this crazy crochet land. I feel like I am a toy store owner with all the toys that I have piled up over here. But it brings me a lot of joy, and it's super fun, and I love to see people's faces light up. So let me know of any ideas on what you would like to see, or any ones that sparked joy for you. I would love to hear which one of these sparked the most joy for you, that just made you have a little giggle inside. What was that for you? Let me know down below. And yes, keep checking back if you're interested in the crochet aspect. I will title it crochet, and any future unboxings I will title tarot unboxings, and we can go from there. But this allows us a way to kind of branch out into our different interests. So I just want to say thank you for joining me today in one of these passions, and let me know what your passion is and what you're working on in the description box below. But thank you guys for stopping in today and keeping me company while I share with you all of these fun things. Until next time, guys, peace.